You are our greatest weapon of all.
First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one.
It's time you started thinking. Pain isn't something you thought.
All we can ever do for our heroes is remember them, and they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. They gave up everything for our country, for us. They pray for freedom and justice.
Some veterans not getting the timely care that they need. Less than 1% of Americans serving in uniform. Good news is that in recent years we've made historic investments to boost the VA budget.
What is it? Why should we care?
We should care about press freedom
Because we were informed.
In democratic societies, free, diverse, and pluralist media enable public debates and are essential checks
You don't
on
look
power.
satisfied.
Let's discuss.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's going on?
A new episode. Today we're gonna talk about rather easy topic, probably hyperhidrosis or excessive sweating. So if it's your first time listening our podcast, Vet to Vet podcast, then thanks for tuning in, and thanks for coming.
And hopefully you get something out of this.
Yeah.
This is Costa. I'm Joe.
Mm-hmm. And as a short reminder, Vet to Vet is a non-profit educational project dedicated to assist veterans with adjustment to civilian lifestyle and to provide assistance in obtaining your VA and other available benefits you have earned. And the same way it goes for us, so we both learn as we go as well.
Yeah, definitely no one's a genius.
So hyperhidrosis is a condition that causes the body to sweat uncontrollably and unpredictably. Most commonly, the hands, feet, groin, and underarms are affected. However, hyperhidrosis can also occur on the face and rarely the entire body. The cause of hyperhidrosis is unknown, but doctors believe that an over-reactive sympathetic nerve response is a primary cause. High emotion, smell, sound, certain food and drinks, caffeine, nicotine can trigger episodes, but it's not limited to those. So hyperhidrosis can also occur with the other conditions like Parkinson disease, congestive heart failure, and diabetes. So let's go into the topic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So hyperhidrosis is a medical condition that causes excessive sweating. Sweating is the body's natural way of cooling itself, so you need to sweat when your body temperature is raised to prevent you from overheating. In hyperhidrosis, the nerves responsible for triggering sweat glands become overactive and signal for more perspiration even when it's not needed. Stress or nervousness makes the problem worse. In some cases, sweat can also be excessive, that it soaks through clothing and drips off hands. Hyperhidrosis can cause social anxiety and embarrassment. So a lot of us, if you ever been in a stressful situation, you know, like you just get sweaty even if you're pretending to be cool. Frequently, there is no underlying cause of heavy sweating. This condition is called primarily hyperhidrosis. This type usually affects the palms and the soles of the feet and sometimes the face. Hyperhidrosis may be hereditary as it's seen in clusters and families. When the sweating is attributed to an underlying medical condition, it is called secondary hyperhidrosis. This type is more likely to cause excessive sweating all over the body.
So a little bit about statistics. Who, like for the states, what would we say? What would be the statistics?
Yeah, so nearly 1 in 20 people in the U.S. suffers from hyperhidrosis. So that's about more than 15 million people right now.
I think I have it.
Yeah, definitely. Hyperhidrosis impacts men and women equally. Hyperhidrosis often begins in childhood or adolescence and mostly affects younger sufferers ages 18 to 39 years old, which is about the time you join the military.
What impact can hyperhidrosis have on people's life?
Yeah, so even though it's kind of odd, it could significantly impair quality of life, causing limitations in work and social relationships, sports and leisure activities, and can negatively affect emotional health as well. And a recent study of little more than 8,000 people, of the 393 people who reported having hyperhidrosis, 85% found their excessive sweating to be embarrassing, and 71% said it makes them anxious. So it starts to kind of feed itself.
I'm not sure it's connected myself, but I know I have it because I start sweat easily.
Yeah, and medications cause it a lot too.
Yeah, probably that's the reason.
Yeah.
How does hyperhidrosis affect the body physically?
People with hyperhidrosis produce 4 to 5 times more sweat than the average to deal with heat or stress. 65% of people with excessive sweating suffer from underarm sweating, which occurs either on its own or in combination with other body areas. There are 2 main types of hyperhidrosis. One, when you sweat excessively without any other physical reason, it's called primary hyperhidrosis, which is not caused by any other medical condition or medicine, often begins in childhood or adolescence, usually affects body parts such as the underarms, palms, soles, and face, often more than one body part. Does not usually happen while sleeping. Sometimes runs in families. If you have a parent with it, you have a 25% chance of getting it too. Thumbs up. When you sweat excessive, number 2, when you sweat excessively and it's a symptom of another medical condition or a side effect of medication, it's called secondary hyperhidrosis, which can be focal, limited to certain body parts, but most commonly generalized involves sweating that occurs over the whole body. Can happen during both waking and sleeping hours.
So how can you sum up symptoms?
So people with the medical condition of hyperhidrosis sweat when the body doesn't need cooling. Excessive sweating in people with hyperhidrosis usually occurs on the palms of the hands, the feet, the underarms, and head. This excessive amount of sweat can interfere with daily activities, making it difficult to open doorknobs, hold a pen, tools. Sweating in the armpit region can become so profuse that it is recognizable by others, causing embarrassment and anxiety. The constant moisture on the skin can lead to skin infections, so it's recommended that you see a dermatologist to determine whether you have it.
So what are the causes unpleasant to those that you mentioned?
So primary hydrosis has no known cause. However, other conditions that may cause hyperhidrosis are underlying health factors, including medications, diabetes, menopause or hot flashes, low blood sugar, overactive thyroid, certain types of cancers, nervous system disorders, and infectious diseases. Dermatologists estimate that 3% of people in the United States have excessive sweating. Some people are more likely to have hyperhidrosis if a family member has it. A medical condition is present that causes excessive sweating, such as diabetes, gout. Some tumors can cause hyperhidrosis. Vitamin or food supplements are being taken which can cause excessive sweating. It is normal for women approaching menopause to sweat excessively at night or during hot flashes due to a drop in hormone levels. So a lot of us, I think, is PTSD related, hypertension related, medications, things like that. You know, so if you get that sweat, especially on the palm of your hands and your feet, and you know it, get it checked out. Yeah.
This podcast, we're not going into VA specific regulation because what got covered, it's exactly what it is. So that's all you have to prove, that you have one of those conditions, and you got to tell when it, of course, like with the there are 3 elements. So it happened while you've been in the military, then it's still causing you some issues, and
yeah, like due to your military service. You could probably push it as an undiagnosed condition due to the Gulf War. Secondary issues like due to PTSD, due to medications, things like that, or aggravated if you happen to had it when you were before you were in service and it made it worse because now you got anxiety and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so you're still suffering and it affects your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for this podcast. Do you have any suggestion for a book, movie? Well, and I like second time I went to the movie theater this year and I saw a new Star Wars.
Oh yeah, was that good?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
It's good. What's the wisdom of the day?
It is our duty to protect those who protect us.
Said by Brigadier General Carroll and Folsom. That's it, folks. Thanks for listening. Until next time, over and out.
Thank you.
Thank you.